Hey guys, welcome to Reddit Brew. You know the drill. We're back at it again with the Reddit stories. So let's jump into it, shall we? Entitled mother almost unalives herself and her kid. This isn't my story. My dad is good friends with a train engineer, and he told us this insane, crazy story a while back. Info you will need to know if you're not familiar with trains. Everyone knows trains can't stop on a dime, but I'm here to tell you about wheel slips. Sometimes, train can have a failed start or stop and can slide down the track due to loss of traction. This is a wheel slip. If a train goes into a wheel slip while stopping, it's extremely difficult to stop. We're talking miles before the train comes to a stop. Wheel slips are usually caused by weight distribution, outside factors, or not being able to gain traction. On to the story. So let's call my dad's friend Tom. Tom was on his normal route with the conductor we will call Bill. Tom was going around 70 miles per hour and was about to come up on a crossing. In the distance, he could see a car on the crossing, but he figured that the arms hadn't come down yet, and cars were still crossing, as it was still a ways away. As he got closer, he noticed a car was parked on the train tracks with a woman and child standing beside it, holding up a sign that Tom couldn't quite make out. He obviously immediately knew this was bad. He slammed on the emergency brakes and blew the horn as loud as he could to try to warn the woman. As he got closer and closer, she wouldn't budge, and the train went into an unexpected wheel slip. I'll explain why after. And now, they were sliding at a high velocity and heading straight towards the mom and her son. Bill and Tom were panicking and let nearby trains know what was going on via radio. People who saw the occasion were yelling at the woman and her kid, but people realized she wasn't gonna budge. So someone had to physically push her and her son off the tracks. Tom and Bill nearly missed them and slammed into her car. Since they were in a wheel slip, they couldn't slow down, and once Bill and Tom managed to gain traction again, the train stopped 2.5 miles later. Bill and Tom were scared to death about this unique to them situation, and despite their protocol, they jumped out of the engine and ran to see if the woman and her kid were okay. After apparently, according to Tom, what seemed like forever, they finally made it back to the crossing. Tom proceeded to have a conversation with the entitled mother. "Finally! Now, I want you to meet my son. He wants to ride in your train." "What?" "I want to be a train driver. Can I go pull the horn?" "Sorry, kid. No, we can't allow that." "Let him do it. Besides, you owe us now, since you attempted to kill us." Before Tom could reply, Bill found the sign and told Tom to read what it said. The sign stated, "Stop crashing into cars because you enjoy the fun of demolition. Embrace the new generation." What in the world are you trying to say? The whole thing about trains can't stop on a dime is an old wives' tale. Admit it. You don't stop because you just enjoy crashing into cars and animals. What? No. We don't stop because we can't stop. The wait. I've heard it all before, and I'm tired of being lied to. Well, it's not a lie. Also, a crash like this creates a huge inconvenience for many people, for our schedule and fellow engineers. We try to avoid crashes at all cost. And what do you mean by embrace the new generation? I've tried to stop so many trains time and time before because my boy wants to be able to blow the horn and see what the inside looks like. He wants to be a train driver when he grows up too. But you guys are too lazy to stop, so you just wave. Too selfish to let the new generation explore their curiosities. So selfish. Ma'am, you must understand that everyone is on a tight schedule. Stopping can put a lot of people in danger because if we aren't in a siding at a specific time, it can delay schedules, and trains can accidentally be let onto the line you're on and cause a head-on collision. It's not that easy. Oh, shut up! You guys aren't on a tight schedule. I've been waiting here all day, and it took forever to see a train. We got so bored that we needed to find things to do. Do you know how many people I had to tell off? I got so many questions asking why I was here, so I said I was just putting coins on the track. Each time someone came by, we had to look busy. We put a lot of coins on there. Oh, I need to check and see how they turned out. Tom and Bill's faces grew red with anger. You did what? My son and I put coins on the track. How many? I lost count we put so many on. Tom was furious because he suddenly realized why he went into the unexpected wheel slip. There were so many coins on the tracks, and he was traveling so fast that the train lost traction and caused the wheel slip that put many lives in danger. Tom was outraged and yelled at the woman, asking her how could she be so stupid. Tom told the officers what had happened, and she was charged for trespassing. And she also committed a felony by willingly making her car get hit on purpose, endangering many lives. So Karen had a lot of bills to pay and spent a small time in the slammer. Thankfully, everybody was okay. But man, when Tom told my family and I this story, it made our jaws drop, and I hope it did the same for you. Ah yes, another entitled Karen that thinks the laws of physics don't exist, specifically for her and her precious angel. If I were a teacher, I would totally make this story into a math equation. Now kids, if a train is traveling at 70 miles per hour, but a Karen put 26 coins and 1 car on the tracks, how many miles would it take for the train to stop? Don't forget to plot Karen's stupidity on the line graph. Correct, Timmy. An infinite slope. Because Karen's stupidity knows no bounds. Gold star for you. Not gonna lie, this story hurt me in the deepest part of my soul. And if this story is real, which I pray to the flying spaghetti monster that it's not for humanity's sake, I think this may be one of the most stupid Karens we've read about to date. How do people like this function? I guarantee this woman will be getting the Darwin Award someday, and unfortunately, her son too by association. Entitled aunt demands my 6-year-old cousin drive my Tesla. This happened about half a year ago. The occasion was my grandma's birthday. I drive a Tesla, and the ride to my grandma's place is long. So I knew that I would need to recharge at my grandma's place. She lives in a complex with Tesla chargers, which works out great. So I arrive at my grandma's place and see my entitled aunt and my brat cousin waiting for me in the lot. I had just gotten the Tesla not long before this, so I showed my cousin all the funny little perks, like the games, fireplace, and of course, the fart noises. After all that, I plug my car in, and we all head into my grandma's. After about 2 hours, I wanted to check if my car was alright, how much charge it had, and to get some fresh air. I didn't realize my aunt and cousin were missing from the party, but apparently they were, because they were back in the lot, standing beside my car. Mom, the car makes fart noises. I know, sweetie. What are you guys doing? Cousin loves your car. He wants to drive it. What? Sure. I can drive him around in it for a few blocks, I guess. No, he wants to drive it. It doesn't look as complicated as a normal car, so I'm sure he can drive it. He's 6? It's also way more complicated than it looks. But it has games and makes fart noises. So it can't be more than a little toy. Sorry, but no. This is such an outrageous request. I'm not letting a 6-year-old drive a Tesla. Why not? You're just selfish. I'm sure he can drive it for a minute or two in the lot here. No, I bet you don't even own that car. I'm sure it's stolen or one of your friends own it. It's mine. I have the keys. It's a trap. I pull out the keys and open the car. Big mistake. Look, sweetie, now you can get in. She puts him on the driver's seat. You have been very rude to me and my little angel, so he deserves to drive in your car. He couldn't start up the car because it was still plugged in, but he was messing around with the electronics inside and all the buttons. Would you please get him out of my car before he damages something? No, he deserves it. That's where I had enough. I push my aunt aside and open the driver's side door, take my cousin out of the car, and put him on the ground on his feet. What does this little spawn do? He lets himself fall on purpose and starts crying that I broke his arm. My aunt is screaming about how I tried to kill her son, and my other family members hear the brats crying. Meanwhile, I'd had enough with this drama, so I unplug my car, get into it, and drive away. On my way back home, I called the others back and apologized for leaving so abruptly, and explained what had happened. They tell me that my aunt had tried to call the ambulance and police, but thankfully, they know how ridiculous she is, and that she was likely making things up, knowing that I'd call soon to explain. So, they kicked her and her son out of the party. I can't with these stories today. A 6-year-old driving a Tesla? I wouldn't even trust myself to drive one of those. Do you know how much torque those things have? They're like literal race cars. I love how OP just noped right out of there when the situation started escalating. Good thing his family knows about entitled aunt's antics. Everyone should just save themselves the headache and, yep, you guessed it, go no contact with that aunt. But anyway, that is all from me today. I hope you enjoyed these absolutely outrageous, facepalm worthy entitled parent stories. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I truly appreciate when you do, and I will see you in the next Reddit story. Bye!